Hello, I am Ahmed Elzawawy. I am very glad to be among you today, either online, and hello to all the audience in the hall now and all who are sharing us in online everywhere in the world. Today, I'll present the first introductory talk on the second series of ASCO-GOIS international webinars. As I said that I am Ahmed Elzawawy. I'm chair of the Win-Win Initiative, chair board of directors of Global Oncology Implementing Science, GOIS. It's part of GoU, a founder and president of ICDoc and past president of Aortic, and professor of clinical oncology and nuclear medicine in Egypt. And this is my email and website. Disclosure of interest and conflicts, none. I don't take fees for my lecture out of my university or financial support from any. So in the forum of GOIS, we are free completely to express. Based on science, I am aligned only to what could be beneficial for millions of patients with cancer, regardless who they are or where they are. So it is also an opportunity to all to express freely here with in GOIS and with scientific approaches or references. Welcome all. The GOIS forum belongs to all the willing. I inspired the work from distinguished colleagues and international organizations. Along the last 3 decades until this moment, despite of all the effort of organizations, societies, conferences, summits, commission, thousands of publications, there is increase in the gap and the tragic shortage of cancer care, clinical oncology, radiotherapy service in most of the world, particularly in Africa. Despite the slight increase of number of services, but despite of the loud noises, statistically 10 or 15 new clinical units annually maximum is considered as very tiny in comparison to the increase needs to at least 12,000 clinical oncology radiotherapy facilities in the world. A study in ESTRO, European Society of Radiation Oncology, more than 1/4 of patients in Europe, yes, in Europe, didn't get the indicated radiotherapy. So needless to waste time or to dispute about the fact with all effort in the last 3 decades, the gap between the need and the available radiation oncology service is widened. If the concerned players will continue the same, then the gap will become worse in the upcoming years. The problem is not in the excellent and respectable players in the world, but in the game. So this game of in global oncology should be changed, as well as professional for the level of professional cancer practice and education and research. If we continue as we are, the health system would not cope with the skyrocketing raise in the total cost that do not match or commensurate with the patient-centered outcome. In the Win-Win Scientific Initiative and GOIS program, we advocate for lowering remarkably the total cost and the affordability of better value cancer care with smart and scientific approaches. All will win. We are not offending any industry, all stakeholders, including patients, cancer care professionals, community, science, governments, health industry will win. Even the business and industries, companies will, the market will flourish more with the smart and deals approach and scientific approach. What is global oncology? I say this because sometimes there is confusion between the science of global oncology and the general public health topics and the advocacy and public talks about cancer. Even sometimes become business or political talks or slogan or whatever. Public health and cancer advocacy are mandatory and very important. We consider it a lot, but it is not necessary at all to be done by cancer care experts and cancer researchers. The definition of oncology, according to Merriam-Webster dictionary, not me, a branch of medicine, concerned with prevention, diagnosis, treatment, and study of cancer. Global, it means worldwide. So global oncology doesn't mean as frequently thought, that is cancer care and control in low middle income countries, but it regards the whole world, the rich and the poor. Otherwise, it would be called low middle income countries oncology. This is logical, isn't it? The win-win movement, introduced by Ahmed Elzawawy, modestly is me, thank you, in December 2007, aims at the increase of affordability of better value cancer care for millions of underserved cancer patients in the world, in rich countries and lower middle income countries, via scientific approaches and within win-win scenario. It needs intelligent, it needs smart ways, and this is what we call the goal. It is not competing and replacing any, but it is forum for all. It is a notion of collaborating and with all to achieve our sole common goal. We don't claim any invention. It is based and inspired from the scientific works of many scientists and authors and publications. We don't seek for glory or praise, but the glory is for the layered doers everywhere. Welcome all. The win-win is a notion, so it could be adopted and adapted by any or modified. The win-win is a message of love expressed in scientific collaboration and exploration and collaboration to serve the cause of affordability of better value cancer care with dignity for all, regardless their nationalities, belief, or colors. The two wings of the win-win: first is the increased affordability of better value cancer care via scientific approaches; two, the increased number of quality of cancer care services in the world via catalyst action. Hence, there is a great need for wide education and training program focused on the goal on how to enhance human capacities and resources that adopt and lead scientific movement to increase affordability of triple value cancer care. So that is why there is a need for global oncology, GOIS, Global Oncology Implementing Science. The Global Oncology University founder, Professor Will Nagwa, he's among you today, and he's the director of the meeting, with distinguished, he's the founder with distinguished co-founders and faculty. Started in 2017. At present, among the ongoing programs and courses of is Global Oncology Implementing Science Program, GOIS. No doubt, why GOIS? No doubt the known curricula for professional cancer, professional education in different specialty related to cancer are mandatory for formation of qualified professions. We all agree in this. But in addition to that, at present, in addition to universities, institutions, organizations, professional organizations, for degrees or certificates, there are along there are a need for burning needs even for specific professional education and stimulation of scientific approaches on how to increase remarkably of the affordability of better value cancer care tailored for local patients in different communities via science and in the real world. That is what GOIS present. Many existing scientific examples that unfortunately not well highlighted in the scientific cancer community. We don't claim any invention or praise. Today, I present some sample of tens of scientific published examples that could lower the cost and increase opportunity for affordability of better value cancer care that could be implemented. You will find many examples in our last books, and here is the link, and in our presentation and our program, GOIS and web, you will find many to access to many examples. Some examples of many. Is it scientifically possible to reduce the cost of some expensive treatment by scientific ways by 70 or 80% or more without compromising the outcome on patients? Please see many examples with reference in GOIS. Always reference. I didn't invent anything. The doses of many of the new drugs approved by FDA over the last decade were higher than it should be because the FDA approved the drug based on maximally tolerated dose, which is not nice. Hence, all guidelines and big conferences follow that and leading to off-target adverse events that may be fatal, and in the case of ibrutinib. A good news, after many publications, presentations, and pleas by many experts, including us, and that you will find this in our book. One of our books is cited here. FDA has launched the Project Optimus for reforming the dose optimization and dose selection paradigm in oncology. However, according to Professor Antanok, unfortunately, the FDA will apply this correction for the upcoming drugs and not what we are using now and the previous drugs. This is not nice. One of the important aspects of better value cancer care is to have less toxicities and the cost, and then save the cost of hospitalization and treatment of toxicities and the suffering of patients. So could anyone or any organization or any guidelines tell us why, despite it has been reported that 58% of potentially fatal adverse events are not listed in the initial USDA FDA drug, and 38%, you imagine this, are not reported in any published randomized trial or any high-impact journals. You imagine this. Why the voice of patient is missing in drug safety reporting? It's not me who say this is a reference. Find reference here. I send you slides, so is accessible to all. I send the link, the slides, so you can click on all references here, and you can and all the link. Generic equivalent of and biosimilar of cancer drug, repeatedly it is mentioned in conference and journal as a solution or the magic stick. No, we emphasize on that generic and biosimilar drugs could be of much more value if there were global regulatory consistency and trust in the good quality and flow of drugs. Here is the link. The waste of leftover of vials and some expensive cancer drug in USD estimated to be $3 billion per year. Imagine this. Are you going to continue like this? And we speak about funds and global fund. The Mist global campaign, the fight against counterfeit medicine, is worth $200 billion. You imagine this, and cause 1 million deaths per year in the world. Are there some proposed solution? Yes. Visit the link here, and you find my what I prepared here. I didn't invent anything. There are solutions everywhere. I don't, unfortunately. Who listened? I don't know. A study in the USA showed that 1/4 out of those chemotherapy patients with 10 major cancer diagnoses who were identified as late or dying in an patient setting of cancer drug therapy. The question, are you going onward like this? Just a question. In GOIS and Win-Win Initiative, we call to disseminate the message, repairing the compensation system for oncologists and cancer care professionals. That is, if we want to be serious and realistic in the real world. Otherwise, in many parts of the world, known system of corruption, form of percent of the treatment, prescribe, commission, travel, accommodation, shopping, and registration to conference, and to summit, etc. All organizations will continue. Unfortunately, all companies knows that bribery go also to some decision makers and ministers. I don't indicate any one person. I don't know. This is say minister or maybe above. I stop here. But it is not person against it. I don't know. But we stress that remuneration for good living to all cancer care professionals, and I dare to say decision maker as well, would be the first step to save a lot of money goes to expensive nonsense prescriptions in the real world. You imagine that industry spends, this is number is written, it's published. You see the publication here, spends 35 billion annually in the billion, $35 billion annually in the USA for marketing pharmaceutical. Much of it directly go to physicians who reported, and it's reported as a big study that reported that marketing interactions threaten trust in medicine. Just a brainstorming question for your kind feedback and modification. And could this, some among other sums of bad allocation of resources, go to improve remuneration of cancer doctors? Frankly, not necessarily as salaries, but big hours for providing better value cancer practice, or for training, for generous grants for researches and studies that are focused on how to increase via science the affordability of cancer care in the real world. That we call for the win-win scientific initiative GOIS program, and in the series of ASCO-GOIS ASCO-GOIS and other initiatives. However, in the real world, such a suggestion will never realized just because I said it, or we said it, or suggested, unless companies take it seriously, and study and formulate diverse and creative approaches. After they do, hopefully, do some pilot studies. If they find strong possibilities that this approach could not only lower total cost and increase affordability of their product, but most important for them is to boost sales, flourish their usual markets, and potentiate weak markets, strengthen the health service, and prevent depression, then implementation could be realized. What do you think? Or you prefer that we continue as we are? Surely the field is open for all innovative suggestions and smart deals from all. One example of many of the need to design world health systems. I say this example: estimate the cost of in East Africa, cost of referring patients to India, cancer patients, is about $2 billion annually. Without offending anyone, the sum of $10 billion in 5 years could establish local high-quality cancer service system with dignity to local patients, and while all will win. Like local patients and doctors and all. Other institute isn't much better than wasting resources of IAEA, hope, raise, taxpayers in rich countries, etc., in establishing few centers and keeping their resources, and so they will keep their resources for technical and development aspect and advancement. Just what do you think? Could we change that? Could we change the game? The first series of ASCO-GOIS International Webinar Certificate is focused on how to increase via science affordability of better value cancer systemic therapy in the world, how to obtain the for free certificate of the first ASCO-GOIS game changer in global oncology. Is the guide here. I send you the link. The second series of GOIS is started today with introductory note today. Is focused on how to increase remarkably the affordability of radiotherapy, molecular radiotherapy combined with the immunotherapy. Links to other education, research, and fellowship and other will be present in our web. So it is a forum for all. Welcome all. Millions of cancer patients and their families are screaming, as you are doctors, scientists, and governments and policymaker, don't forget us, and do your best to reduce our suffering and access to better value cancer care with dignity. You can do if you collaborate together and be focused toward that goal, going forward in fruitful cooperation. Thank you all, and all your feedback and suggestions are deeply welcome, even criticism. It's a message for love for all humans via science. Join, it's free. And this is a link to the message to all. I'll present now the second short lecture, very short, about is launching the second series of ASCO International Webinars and Certificates. So I'll start because in order to save time. The second series entitled "How to Increase Access and Affordability of Better Value Radiation Oncology, Bioscience, and Prospect of Molecular Radiotherapy and its Combination with Immunotherapy." Introductory session today. The first webinar will be October 2022. Tentative date of fifth webinar is when June 17, 2006. I'm sorry, correct this. 2026 at 3 or to 5 p.m. London. Disclosure are the same. For those who claim that we are idealistic or dreamers, yes, it is a dream, but it could be realized via scientific and smart approaches. Otherwise, if the world continues the same, it would be a nightmare and probably collapse of the whole systems. 3 common brainstorming questions along the series is to make clinical oncology radiotherapy more accessible and affordable in the world. Yes, it's possible. Could we double or more the number of treated patients with the existing available radiotherapy facility at present in the world? Yes. It is possible if there is will and feasible serious plans in the real world. Is it possible to increase remarkably the number of clinical oncology care service? Our suggestion is yes. What do you think? Please note that in our series we adopt a free flow of ideas, flexibility of thoughts, smart innovation plus exploration of older and classic way approaches. The first introductory session today, short lecture. First webinar 22 October at 3 to 5 p.m. London time. Is its title and the material we present. Its material. If you like to go link and then you come to the session, prepare with this material to hear a presentation for half an hour or 1 hour. Then it is the floor open of your panelists, distinguished panelists and audience for all your feedback. This is very important. For 1 hour, all are recorded. Second webinar, could we increase access to total cost and number of service of clinical oncology real world? Yes. Material the same. Third webinar, brainstorming points about the research in radiotherapy, an example of stimulating point for present and future. You will find many exciting points and brainstorming and stimulation. You imagine, for example, that only the trials in radiotherapy only represent 5% of publications in cancer. Brainstorming notes about hypofractionation and needs for research in radiation fraction, not only hypofractionation. Radiation fraction, annex 1 here is many material, many points, very stimulating. Brainstorming of AI, is it artificial intelligence or augmenting intelligence or additive intelligence? What do you think? For annex 2, and you'll find many materials here and you'll find many interesting things. Hypo Africa, it is Professor Nicola Croce, Twalib Negoma, Alwin Negwa, and this material here and for your discussion. Solar power innovations, solar power radiotherapy by Holger Filtz and Ralph Moller Polizio. Find very interesting material, and this for your discussion and for your input and for your panelist view. Innovation, low-cost radiotherapy machines and novel ring-based compensator intensity modulated radiotherapy by Professor Eric Ford. Very exciting, very interesting. This is the solution for not just speak about high expensive possible and complain all the time. Innovation, lowering the cost of image guidance in radiation therapy using low dose mega voltage imaging cone CT for radiation therapy delivery by Professor Rosberg Biko is very interesting. Smart radiotherapy by material for combining radiotherapy and immunotherapy, the pioneer with Negwa and his team. Electronic brachytherapy, we discuss it. Is this the era of electronic brachytherapy or not? What do you think? We'll see together the material. Innovation still under studies. This is flash therapy, a new ultra-dose rate for studies. Fifth webinar, tentative date is 17 June 2026. Sorry. Successful example of new services. Introduction. That is about some example with different main challenges in the Republic of Georgia, Mozambique, Latin America, and Professor Christina Kiel will present interesting talk about Butaizi, Georgia, Francesco Alvese about Mozambique, financial solution for systemic cancer control in South America, in Uruguay. Virtual example of industry perspective, Mr. Dow Wilson, past president CEO of Variant Medical System, Siemens Health Engineers. Variant Siemens Health Engineer remarks to Global Oncology by Dr. D. Kuncha, Senior Vice President, Medical Affairs and Chief Medical Officer, Variant Siemens Health Engineer. Cancer does not discriminate between the rich and poor. This is by Habib Naima, Vice President of Electa. And there are also relevant material for the series, and we cite it here. Finally, implementing science to make cancer care affordable. This is a message of love for all humans via science. It is please join. It's free for all. Contribute and lead. The value of this program is initiative depends only on your discussion, feedback, modification, constructive criticism, addition, adoption. Become leaders. We welcome all your feedback before, during, and after the series. Please feel free to take this point to discuss in your institute, organization, and even to publish as your outcome as authors. We don't claim any authorship. Thank you all. And it would be a pleasure to receive your feedback, modification, criticism, and all, and going forward in fruitful cooperation. Thank you all. Bye-bye. Waiting you.